This video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel. To say that G Fuel is a cheat code for me as a creator is an understatement. Between uploading daily on this channel and consistently uploading on 3 of my other channels and still finding time to hit the gym, I need all the energy I can get, which is why I turn to G Fuel energy tubs such as the Ice Spice Orange because of the amazing flavors and having just enough caffeine to get me going for the day, with 140 milligrams, which lets me drink a couple of servings, once when I first start working and second in the afternoon when I'm wrapping up working for the day and need that last push of energy. And best of all, G Fuel is a sugar-free performance energy drink that is huge for me personally. Between that and the 50 different flavors, I'm absolutely in love right now. On top of that, there are 19 different all-natural flavor extracts for unparalleled cell protection, and it contains vitamin C, D, and E. Use my affiliate link in the description box and my promo code KAGE, K-A-G-E, to order some of the Naruto energy tubs like Naruto's Rasengan, soda, ice candy, or some of the other awesome flavors over on the website. Again, use my promo code down below and the discount code KAGE on your G Fuel order today. Imagine staring down a demon that wears your father's face loosely like a mask, a voice that might even loosely echo Sasuke Uchiha, your father, a being who not only can use Sasuke's jutsu but also transform his arm into a weapon very similar to Sasuke's sword. Only Sasuke wielded that sword he had with love and regret. Hidari, on the other hand, has a sword that is being wielded out of curiosity and hatred. In the silence before the clash with Sarada versus Hidari, she's not going to flinch. She's going to stare into the eyes of the monster that was born from the same soul that raised her, and she will choose to fight, not to kill, but instead to save. This is going to be the rematch between Sarada and Hidari that has been set up in the last chapter that will decide more than just one part of the fate of Konoha, but it will also be the moment where a daughter manages to save the soul of her father. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video where we're going to take an in-depth look at why Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 23 has now set up a rematch between Sarada and Hidari in a battle with the highest of stakes. If Hidari wins, Sarada's Hokage dream, it comes to an end, and if Sarada is the one who wins, then Sasuke's days living in fear of season 1 of that time I got reincarnated as a racist lumberjack starring Tobirama Senju as the racist lumberjack, it's all going to come to an abrupt end. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to check out the chapter review, which will be linked in the end credits of this video and the description box for anyone who hasn't seen the review yet, since we got it up a couple of days late for this month. Jumping right into it. In Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, everything's changed, and it all started when Boruto made the very impossible call. He told Kawaki to get his limiters removed and unlock the terrifying full might of Ishikotsuki's power. That decision didn't just alter the battlefield, it fractured destiny itself based on what we saw. Kashin Koji, the clone of the Toad Sage Jiraiya, now glimpses several new futures, new possible futures. One that he saw was the rematch between Sarada and Hidari, and it looks like it has become inevitable. But this isn't just another shinobi duel. Instead, this is a spiritual reckoning, because Hidari is more than just a Shinju clone. He was forged from the chakra of Sasuke Uchiha. In a sick twist of fate, his desire to consume Sarada, seeing her as the final fragment that will complete him. That's right, Hidari doesn't just want to kill Sarada, he wants to devour the light that Sasuke once gave up his own life in order to protect. And it's kind of poetic when you think about it. Sarada is having to enter into a death battle with somebody made out the chakra of her own father in a very sick and twisted way, is basically carrying on the Uchiha family tradition that Sasuke's family has. Itachi played hide the kunai with the members of his family, Sasuke played hide the kunai with Itachi, and now Sarada is playing hide the kunai with Hidari. This rematch and why it matters is something that should really get your attention, because it is one of the highest forms of payoff that we're going to have. The last time that Hidari and Sarada mixed it up, Sarada, she held her own. She did pretty respectable against him, but that was raw. That was desperate, and because there was a lack of intel, there were moments where Sarada got caught slipping. She has now since awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan. She has intel from having fought against Hidari before, knowing that he uses the claw mark jutsu, knowing that he has Sasuke's abilities, knowing what is at stake, knowing that there needs to be a high-powered attack with high AP in order to take out the enemy in one shot, like Boruto did with the Rasengan Uzehiko. Sarada just happens to have something like that with the Mangekyo Sharingan Power Ohirume. Most importantly, Sarada right now also has a very strong resolve. For Sarada, this isn't just about winning, it's about restoring her father's soul, trapped and twisted into a weapon of destruction. Sasuke is sealed away inside that tree, his chakras being used to create Hidari, fuel Hidari, and Hidari's doing the one thing that Sasuke never would have done. He's taking up a sword against Sasuke's child. Kashin Koji believes that this fight, it is crucial to the balance of fate, but he wanted this fight to take place in a way that he has structured. He told Boruto, we can save Sasuke if we do things a certain way. We can stop Jura if we do things a certain way. However, the timeline he sees right now, it has changed from what he originally saw. Sarada, she's gonna have to fight Hidari, and it looks like she's fighting him alone in order to reclaim the Thorn Soul Bulb, a eerie spiritual artifact that is made from Sasuke's corrupted chakra that is fueling Hidari, and she's gonna need that in order to set Sasuke free. This moment, it isn't just about survival. It's about redemption, restoration, and the Uchiha legacy in so many ways finally getting restored, which if you don't know what restore the Uchiha clan means, I will leave that video linked in the description box, because it's not about repopulating the clan. The Uchiha legacy, it might finally be finding peace right now. This gets even deeper when you get into the symbolisms, because there's a very deep Shinto parallel with Izanami and the familial stories of salvation. So this fight in so many ways echoes a very popular and deep tale from Shinto mythology. One of the stories that deals with Izanami, the mother goddess who is trapped in the land of the dead. Her child, enraged by her fate and consumed by grief, becomes a storm god, lashing out against heaven itself because of what happened. But in another variation of the story, it is said that that child descended into the Yomi, the land of the shadows, in order to reclaim the parent's lost soul. Much like Sarada, they were warned to not look at what the parent had become. But unlike the myth itself, Sarada is going to look anyway, because in order to save her father, she's gonna have to look at what her father's chakra became. What it became was Hidari. She sees the rot in Hidari. Ironic given that Hidari, as Boruto called Jura, is a tree, and Sasuke's chakra being used in this way in a very poetic symbolism is what is making Hidari, the tree in this instance, rot. Sasuke being sealed away inside of a tree, that's another reason why that is so poetic as well, because the purity of Sasuke has kept that tree from not rotting. Sasuke is at peace, Hidari is at torment, hence that's why he is rotting. It's a narrative parallel. When Sarada looks at Hidari, she's able to sense her father's chakra. She knows that Sasuke is being used against his will in this way, corrupted and caged. And she's not fighting out of revenge, but instead, she's fighting out of love. And it makes it so poetic that we're getting a rematch set up between daughter against pseudo-father in a way, in an arc that deals so heavily with the story of love. This battle's obviously going to take place later on, but the fact that it's set up in this very arc should make you want to go back and reread this entire arc and keep in mind just the message of what it's saying about love, because there are different forms of love that this story is touching on. Then when you get into the Buddhist payoff, it's there as well, because you have the concept of karma, not the karma seal, but Buddhism karma, Sasuke's sins, and how Sarada is a form of atonement. In Buddhist philosophy, karma, it isn't just punishment. It is momentum from past actions, always echoing forward. In Sasuke, his karma, it runs deep. From the very moment of the Uchiha massacre where his life was changed forever, even though he didn't kill anyone there, that started the karma transgression for him. He began to seek out vengeance, and that led him to wanting to destroy Konoha. He has carried immense spiritual weight even after being forgiven for those crimes. Hidari is a physical manifestation of that karma, a thorny soul, which makes it so poetic, a thorn soul bulb, grown from his darkness, grown from his chakra, ironically grown from a version of Sasuke that was in the process of fully redeeming himself from all of his past sins. And yet Buddhism teaches that karma can be purified, not just by the sinner, but by others who choose compassion over hatred. That's what Sarada represents. That's why her character being written so closely associated with themes of love is so important. It's not just because she is in Uchiha, the clan that feels love deeper than anyone else, but by choosing to save and not necessarily to destroy out of hatred. She is going to purify Sasuke's karma through love and pain and bravery. In Buddhism, this is known as a merit transfer, where the good deeds of one can liberate the soul of another. Sarada, by risking herself to save her father's corrupted chakra, she is about to burn off multiple generations of Uchiha torment in one final act of grace. Sarada is about to be the one who truly restores the Uchiha clan through this action. That's no disrespect to Sasuke, it is his daughter that did it. But because of the circumstances, because one person dishonored the clan, it had to be someone removed from the Uchiha massacre, removed from Fugaku wanting to overthrow Konoha, removed from Itachi publicly being seen as dishonoring the clan, and removed from Sasuke having been so obsessed with vengeance. It needed to be someone who was not connected to any of that, who does the restoration. Now let's talk about tactics here, because Sarada, she isn't in the blind right now, and she literally isn't going in blind. She knows Hidari's fighting style, his speed mimicry, his electric style Chidori distortions that he uses, and most importantly, she knows his weakness. He has multiple weaknesses. He is seeking answers about who Sarada is to him, and she also knows she needs to deliver an attack that has high AP in order to destroy him in one shot. Again, he has a weakness that Sarada can exploit here. Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan, it doesn't just grant her heightened perception and those time-altering reflexes. She has Ohirume, but she also, because of how Mangekyo Sharingan works, she has stronger genjutsu. This might allow her a different way to attack Hidari. She can pause Hidari's will long enough to strike true. And when that final blow lands, she isn't necessarily going to kill him. Not in the way that we are expecting. There's going to be something else more emotional leading up to that. Not necessarily saying we get Hidari remaking the forehead poke from Itachi, but there will be something there that has a high emotional weight and payoff. And speaking of emotional payoff, Sarada will be healing the Uchiha curse. This is the final healing that the Uchiha clan needs. Not a battlefield victory, a spiritual one. Sasuke, a man who once walked alone in hatred, is saved by the daughter who was born from his love and second chance. For Sarada, this moment, it cements who she is, not just as a future Hokage, but the one who truly ends the Uchiha curse with compassion and love, and she is the one that acts as the phoenix to resurrect the Uchiha clan properly. No more vengeance, no more suffering. Her actions, they echo throughout the shinobi world as a result, especially when the truth about omnipotence does come out. She becomes the symbol of a new path, not one built from power or legacy, but one from redemptive love. This also has foreshadowing for future events. This victory will ripple into Boruto's final confrontation, possibly with Jura, possibly with Kawaki. Sarada's actions, they can prove that corrupted chakra can be purified, and that's going to give Boruto hope for even Momoshiki. Unpopular opinion, but I do think that we have to prepare ourselves for the fact that even though all the Otsutsuki are based off of Japanese folklore where the characters are heroes, but they've been spun around into being villains, because of the Momotaro story, I don't think you can fully rule out that Ikimoto might take a beloved Japanese folklore character and stick to what we have, a redemption story. To use a wrestling term, it's like John Cena turned heel, we expect him to turn face at some point in the future. Basically, bad guy to good guy. Kashin Koji's vision of having Sarada, it's going to pay off with her having the Thorn Soul bulb in one hand, possibly taking it to save her father. This isn't just about her being Sasuke's daughter, but instead she's going to be that first Uchiha born after the cycle of hatred was broken that is walking the true path of light. This matters now more than any before, because in a world that is quickly spinning out of control, that is filled with gods and monsters and deities powers in the form of mere mortals like Kashin Koji and people like Ada. It's not the strongest who can change fate, it's the ones who choose mercy over wrath. Sarada's rematch against Hidari is more than just a fight. It's a spiritual story when you look at it from that perspective, a mythical retelling of love overcoming legacy. From Shinto descent into the Yomi to Buddhism, karmic liberation, this is where the Uchiha story is going to end and a new story is going to begin. When that Thorn Soul Bulb is used to revive Sasuke, the ghosts of the past, they are finally going to go silent. Sarada won't just be saving her father, she will be saving the soul of the Uchiha clan itself. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking on the left to check out the chapter review, or clicking here on the right to check out videos from my other two anime channels where I talk about non-Naruto content.